Hi guys, it's Elle and welcome back to my channel, and thank you for tuning in to come and do my January plan with me. I'm really excited for this theme. I think it's going to be really pretty in a very wintry kind of way, so let's get started. My theme for this month are trees. I was going on this walk with my partner and it was really grey and kind of misty outside, and I was really taken with how the trees kind of were growing out and they had no leaves, and the roots and the bark looked all knotted and twisted. So I really thought it'd be lovely to do kind of like a barren style tree theme for this month. I started off by sketching out the outlines of the trees and the branches, then adding on these kind of wavy patterns, almost like knotted bark coming up the trunks. I'm using lots of different shades of brown, including some quite dark ones today. It's going to be a very muted colour palette for this month. Some warm browns, some sort of slightly darker browns, and then also this really nice sort of grey aqua blue colour I have. So I started out by adding in the pen lines on my trees, then went in with my coloured pens. I'm using the Artiste brush nibs as well as my brush pens today. Opposite my title page, I am doing a quotes page. I'm using a Japanese proverb actually for my quote today. It says, "One kind word can warm 3 winter months." And I thought that was such a nice sentiment. It's January and it's really grey and pretty miserable outside right now. And I just thought that would be a nice sort of thing to carry with me, the idea that even though the weather's pretty miserable right now, we can take some kind words and spring is on its way. I'm adding in some silver for a bit of contrast as well. Again, going with those very muted tones. I really wanted it to be almost like stark wood out of snow. And then I have got this really gorgeous washi tape that is perfect for this spread. It's these dark tree boughs with lots of bits of snow. And I'm just using another bit of washi tape. This one's really pale. It's got some very, very slightly light blue spots all over it, and I'm using that. And then I actually ended up going back and putting in the calendar because I forgot to put that in as well. So my next spread is my monthly overview. I'm putting in a big calendar grid just to try and keep up with all the things I've got going on in January. I don't know about you guys, I always find January ends up being a crazy busy month, start of the new year and all of that. So I've put it in my calendar. I'm adding a little notes box as well. Then I'm going in and adding my January title, again in that sort of loopy font I've been doing for this particular spread. Then adding in my numbers as well. On the right of the page, I'm adding in another one of our tree designs. I'm keeping it really simple, that kind of knotted bark and the same brown tones as well. Moving on to my tracker spread now, I have got my habit tracker down the side on the left page. I'm doing a really simple habit tracker this time. It is just a grid with the numbers 1 to 29 across the top and the things I want to track down the side. Then each day I can go through and I can just colour in one of the boxes that I'm making. So I'm starting off by making my grid here. I've got, I think, 7 or 8 things I wanted to track this month, including things like watering my plants and going to the gym and making sure I eat 5 a day, that kind of thing. So I'm just popping in all of my grid spaces, which took a while. So I've sped the footage up quite a lot to do that. And then I'm just adding in the things I want to track. My mood tracker this month I'm really excited about. I thought it could be really fun to do one of those big trees that has been part of my design for this month and then colour it in with different shades of brown depending on what my mood has been each day. So sort of darker colours for my slightly less good days and the lighter brown for my really good days. So I'm just storing in all of those kind of knotted bits of wood and I will put the numbers on as well. Finally, once I've done that, I'm also adding in a little quote because I felt that there was too much spare space on the page. And the quote I've chosen to do is, "To appreciate the beauty of a snowflake, it is necessary to stand out in the cold." And it's a quote by Aristotle, I think. And again, it's all about celebrating the fact that winter is actually a really beautiful time of year, even if it is raining, like it is most of the time. But it's something to appreciate as well. And unless you actually go out and explore it, you don't get that chance to appreciate it either. So yeah, I was really happy with how this page turned out. I added in a little bit more of my washi tape as well, just to sort of give it a little bit more colour, because it's quite a plain spread in terms of colour, very simple there as well. But generally very pleased with how this turned out. So on this page, this is going to end up being my scrapbooking page. These were one of the best things I love about bullet journaling. It's just a page where I can jot down ideas, things really mundane like shopping lists, jobs I've got to do, that kind of thing. But it's also a place where I can stick in ticket stubs if I've been to the cinema or the movies or whatever, or I can write down little bits of songs that I've heard. It's a really nice place. I can treat it like a diary, like a little scrapbook. So yeah, really love these kind of pages, and I try to do one every single month just to keep hold of those little bits and pieces that are kind of special and they help you take you back to a memory. So yeah, I've just done 2 trees on either side, and then I've gone in with my stamps to write the word scrapbook at the top. And now I'm adding in some colour. So moving on to the final spread of today's setup. This is my first weekly spread for January, and as you can see I am just popping in the boxes. I've got the days that were left of December, so Monday the 30th and Tuesday the 31st on the left hand side, and I've got the first 5 days, Wednesday through Sunday of January on the right. I've put these boxes out, they're all the same size, and they're just a great space for me to write down any events that are happening, specific jobs I have to do on specific days, any appointments, that kind of thing. And then in the space at the bottom, I've just got a little bit of room to put some notes down if there's anything I need to jot down. On the left page, I have got some space for any tasks. This is kind of like a rolling weekly task list, so anything that doesn't have to be accomplished on a very specific day goes down there, and I can tick them off when I get to them. Then finally, I'm adding in my design, my tree again, and adding some colour. So now it's time for our final flip through. I'm really pleased with how well it turned out. I think it looks quite simple, but actually I think that's a nice part of it. I think a lot of the time with bullet journaling, I'm so keen for it to be spring. I don't actually take advantage of the fact that winter is a really gorgeous season of the year, and I think that can be a shame. So I'm really glad that I did this spread, which really celebrates the beauty of winter, despite the fact that, as I say this, it is raining, but you can't have everything. So yeah, I'm really excited to fill this in. I think this is probably going to be one of the spreads that I like the most this year. Well, thank you so much for coming to see my video, and I'm hopefully will see you soon for my next update, and I hope you enjoyed it. So if you did, feel free to subscribe to my channel, and yeah, hope to see you soon. All right, lovelies, have a really good day. Bye.